The forbidden science of 1000x intelligence. You've been lied to. The modern education system, the SATs, the ACTs, they aren't designed to test your true intelligence. They're designed to measure how well you function on factory setting. But what if you could override that setting?
What if you could literally rewire your brain's hardware to process information 1,000 times faster? And I'm not talking about studying harder. I'm talking about the forbidden science of cognitive enhancement. From the secret, silent rituals of Pythagoras to the classified Russian military peptides used by elite operatives today. This is the exact, deeply researched blueprint to build a superhuman mind.
I finally did it. I found the forbidden science of intelligence.
If you apply even 10% of what is in this video, you're never going to struggle with a test, a concept, or a complex problem ever again. You will outpace 99% of your peers. But fair warning, once you upgrade your brain to this level, you can never go back to being average.
Before we get into the synthetic compounds in brain electricity, we have to fix the foundation. So you are a biological machine. And right now you're running on dirty fuel. It starts the second you wake up. When the morning sunlight hits the melanopsin containing retinal ganglion cells in your eyes, it doesn't just wake you up. It triggers a massive neurochemical cascade. It spikes your cortisol at the exact right millisecond, resetting your circadian rhythm and priming your brain for optimal dopamine and testosterone production later in the day. So if you're waking up to the blue light from a phone screen, your brain is already operating at a 30% deficit.
Next is the electrical charge of your body. You see, the Earth's surface is teeming with free electrons. Whenever you make direct physical contact with the ground, a practice known as earthing, your body absorbs these electrons. These act as ultimate antioxidants, neutralizing positively charged free radicals and drastically reducing neuroinflammation. In fact, a landmark 2015 study showed that grounding rapidly reduces the cardinal signs of inflammation, protecting your brain's delicate neural networks from the oxidative stress.
And then there's fuel. The human brain is nearly 60% fat. It doesn't want highly processed seed oils. It demands raw animal fats and red meat. So these provide the dense fat, arachidonic acid, and DHA required to synthesize the myelin sheath, which is just the thick insulation around your neurons that determines exactly how fast electrical signals travel. And so red meat is also packed with creatine and carnosine, which clinically shows in clinical trials, they've proven that this is used basically to significantly enhance short-term memory and fluid intelligence.
Now that the foundation is set, we upgrade the hardware. Enter the nootropic arsenal. Let's start with a compound that literally dyes your brain blue. Methylene blue, originally developed as a textile dye in the 1800s. It is the ultimate mitochondrial enhancer. Dr. Francisco Gonzalez Lima's landmark research at the University of Texas revealed that low-dose methylene blue donates electrons directly to the cytochrome C oxidase in your mitochondria. It completely bypasses damaged segments of the electron transport chain, massively increasing ATP energy production and oxygen consumption in your brain. It is a supercharger for your neurons.
And then we have targeted neurochemical blends like Notable Focus B2. So this isn't caffeine in a pill. It uses Subroxy, derived from the Auroxylum indicum tree, which acts as a powerful dopamine inhibitor. And so it basically combines this with polygala tenuifolia for rapid neuroplasticity and an extra to block adenosine receptors. It's a precision military strike on your dopamine and other systems. So this basically gives you laser focus with no crash at all.
And at the end of the day, we can't ignore nature's heavy hitters. Lion's mane mushroom contains hericenones and arenosines, compounds small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier to stimulate nerve growth factor, NGF, which physically grows your brain cells. Saffron, specifically its active compounds crocin and quercetin, has been shown in double-blind clinical trials to enhance memory and to protect against cognitive decline. And acarcara, an ancient Ayurvedic root, significantly boosts acetylcholine levels, the neurotransmitter directly responsible for learning and memory retention.
But if you want to push to the absolute edge of the limits of human cognition, you enter the forbidden tier, the world of peptides and neurosteroids. So cerebrosilin is the gold standard. It's basically used in advanced European clinics, and it's just a mixture of neurotropic peptides that mimic brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is just called BDNF. And so it doesn't just stimulate your brain, it forces neurogenesis. And it literally just grows new neural pathways and repairs damaged ones.
And then there's pinealon, a tripeptide that targets the pineal gland, protecting telomeres and reversing cognitive aging. And BPC-157, the wolverine peptide, which has a profound healing effect on the gut-brain axis and the vagus nerve, ensuring that your brain is receiving perfect, uncorrupted signals from your microbiome.
So your brain also runs on neurosteroids. So pregnenolone sulfate. This is going to act as a powerful modulator of NMDA receptors, and so directly enhancing learning and memory. And then progesterone is often understood as just a female hormone, but it actually plays a critical role in the central nervous system by promoting rapid myelin repair and providing massive neuroprotection. And finally, bromantane, developed by Russian military pharmacologists as a actoprotector. It doesn't just dump dopamine into your brain like traditional stimulants. It permanently upregulates the synthesis of dopamine by increasing the expression of tyrosine hydroxylase, It gives you relentless, calm, unstoppable drive without the depletion and no crash at all.
But chemical upgrades are entirely useless without software training, and the ancients knew this better than anyone. You see, Pythagoras wasn't just a mathematician, he actually ran a mystical cult for the cognitive elite. Before you could even hear him speak, you had to endure the acousmata, which was a vow of absolute silence for up to 5 years. It wasn't punishment, it was rather radical cognitive discipline. It forced the mind to internalize, to observe, to build the mathematical harmony required to understand the universe.
Plato, in his Timaeus, spoke of the nous, the divine. He spoke of the nous, the divine intellect housed in the brain. The ancient Greeks developed the method of Loki, or the memory palace, a spatial visualization technique that allows you to memorize thousands of data points by placing them in an imaged physical space. And it just exploits the brain's evolutionary hardwiring for spatial navigation. And then Paracelsus, the Renaissance alchemist, understood that medicine and the mind were deeply spiritual. He echoed the emerald tablets of Hermes Trismegistus, and he basically said, as above, so below. Your macro environment dictates your micro neurochemistry. And Rudolf Steiner took it this further with anthroposophy. And you're my you can teach it that true intelligence is not just localized in the skull, but it is a somatic, full body spatial awareness.
And always remember to combine the mental and the physical, because a lot of people don't know Plato wasn't just a mathematician. He wasn't just a mystical cognitive elite supermind, but he was also one of the most famous wrestlers in Greece. So if you're a student, make sure to combine athletics with all of your learning and you'll supercharge both. But ultimately, to achieve the 1000x multiplier, we combine the ancient wisdom with the bleeding edge of modern technology to literally force neuroplasticity. It's called transcranial photobiomodulation, TPBM, and it uses near infrared light to penetrate the skull. It hits the cytochrome C oxidase in your prefrontal cortex, directly increasing ATP production and cognitive performance. Another one, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT. All the top athletes use this. It forces pure oxygen under brain tissue through immense pressure, triggering massive neurogenesis and synaptic plasticity.
So we can use transcranial direct current stimulation to pass a mild targeted electrical current through the brain, significantly enhancing working memory and learning speed. And by listening to 40 hertz gamma binaural beats, you can train your brain waves to the exact frequency associated with high-level cognitive processing, intense focus, and rapid memory consolidation.
You see, all of this put together, this is the forbidden 1000x protocol. You don't do it all at once. You build your biological foundation with sunlight, grounding, and animal fats. You upgrade the hardware with methylene blue, targeted nootropics, and peptides. You train the software with ancient discipline and memory techniques, and you force adaptation with light and electricity. If you apply even a fraction of this, you will outpace 99% of your competitors. You will process information faster, retain it permanently, and operate on a completely different plane of reality. This is the limitless pill.
At Ignite Test Prep, we don't just teach you how to pass a test. We teach you how to build the ultimate biological machine to conquer that test, to conquer academia, and to conquer life itself. So stop settling for average processing power and visit IgniteTestPrep.com right now to start your evolution.
See you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.